Hello there and welcome back to No Man's Land. It's a bit of a cloudy mid-autumn day, but we've started with the corn harvest, so we'll jump back in, we'll carry on with it. I have just emptied our harvester. It was about 60% full, but I thought I'd empty it whilst we were down there with the gravity wagon. So we should get a decent yield from this field. Not only because corn gives a greater yield than wheat does, but we've got a bigger field, pretty good crop, so we might end up with a grain bin that is more than 0% full from this harvest. Excuse me. Swing around here. Take a look outside, you see what I've done so far. I've done a bit of a headland, and that was my third pass on this side. I think I will go back down this way. So we've been quite busy since the wheat harvest. Mowed all the grass on the large grass field that we sowed this year and got over 20 silage bales out of it, maybe close to 30. So we've got even more silage to sell over the winter because we aren't going to need that much. We'll keep a small supply for the cows we do have, well, the 2 cows we do have, but also if we do, as intend to, expand our cow stable and expand our herd of cows. Don't really think you could call 2 cows a herd. You'll notice this weird spot here that was showing as harvested before I'd even got in the field, and I have no idea why. So either the sheep got to it, or maybe it was a crop circle or a crop square. There we go, back up again. And jump back inside. Something pretty hypnotic about the way the corn falls. Right, swing back around. I think we'll just go up and down passes now. Hopefully it isn't planning to rain today, it's looking pretty hazy out there. We did have to wait until about 12 o'clock to get started because there's just too much moisture from the morning dew on the corn. got one lone stalk over there that we missed. Excuse me. Someone commented. I posted a few pictures of what I'm doing on the farm sim Reddit, and someone commented on one. I think it was of the wheat field. I've missed quite a lot there. Asking if it was the default wheat texture, and it just made me realise I've no idea what the default textures actually are anymore. So I played 19 when it came out, but I don't enjoy it without seasons and a lot of the other mods. I could survive without course play and things like that, but just without seasons I don't enjoy it at all. So I didn't play it again until September last year. So what's that, like a year after release? And then I didn't touch any of the default farms. So I've no clue what is a vanilla texture anymore and what's a texture been made by modders and added to maps and stuff. I think the clue is if it's a good texture it was made by modders. And we're almost full. I was completely oblivious to that, especially after the wheat harvest. I wasn't even thinking about whether the combine would ever get full. So we'll have to unload when we get to the other end. I don't think we'll make it right through this section, so what I will do is I'll swing out and grab those plants we missed. And I'll go and empty. Like in a little TV monitor. I'm presuming that is to see inside there behind us. And not just to keep myself occupied whilst I harvest. Oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Switch to the outside view for a bit. change it up. Excuse me, and go down this side. Can see all my bales there in the distance. So we were pretty busy doing that, gave the John Deere a good workout. I've not checked on the saplings I planted on that hill for a while. I'm sure they'll be doing fine. But yeah, the plan is to fill up that area with more saplings to compensate for the trees that I have taken down to make room for a cow barn. That last lone one there on his own. I was talking to the foreman down at the sawmill, because the fella that owned this land before us, he used to do a bit of logging as well and would go down to the sawmill, and he asked how farming was going in the area on the land. Because he knew the past owner only had that small field. He'd just grow potatoes in there. And I talked about expanding. And he did mention that he thought we owned some of the land on the other side of the road. Now I was convinced we only own the land within that perimeter road. But the foreman at the sawmill was pretty convinced that we own some land just beyond it. So I'm going to have to get out the maps of the actual property that I've never really looked at and see what we do own, because if that is the case, we do have room then definitely for a third arable field to be ploughed in if there is somewhere suitable. If he means that area over there, then that's just too rocky really, there's not enough space. But if it is north of us up that hill, then we will be looking at a lot more room to do something with. And we've got our first hour in on the combine as well. Now at 5,423. Not really seen a lot of work for such an old machine, so I'm sure we can keep him busy for a good few years, prolong his life. I'm just missing a few and just running them over instead of picking them, harvesting them, freshing them. Excuse me. So I emptied the first load at about 60%, so we will have got about 2.5 loads from this little field, which I'm more than happy with. Get those 2 over there that I've missed. I didn't mean to summon a helper then. I don't think I need my hazard lights on either. It's not like there's anyone around here. Just get pulled up to the gravity wagon and get this emptied. Oops, stuck in there. Let's take a look. $15,900 litres. Please do that. To squeeze back in this way. Get the harvester folded up and parked up, and I'll get the corn into the grain bin, and we'll keep it till midwinter really. I think that'll be the best time to sell it. and then in the meantime we might be doing a bit more forestry work whilst the weather's good. I'll sell off all those bales when they're ripe and ready for being sold. But other than that, there won't be too much going on. So thanks very much for watching. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.